Right. Some weeks in AI, you could blink and miss nothing. But this week was something else. It felt like an entire year's worth of updates just landed on our desks all at once. It's just a lot of noise. So in this explainer, we're cutting through all of that. We're going to be your signal filter, ignoring the hype and focusing on the three big strategic moves that really show us where the money and the power are actually shifting. It's an arms race, no doubt about it. And look, in any arms race, you have to watch what people do, not what they say. So today, we're going to look at three key battlefronts. We want to understand who's actually making moves, who's gaining real ground. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First up, we'll dive into the creative frontier, see who's rewriting the rules there. Then we'll jump into the open source battlefield, and trust me, there's an underdog making a really serious play. After that, we'll look at the heavyweights' power play. How are the big guys responding? And finally, we'll connect all the dots and figure out what we should be watching for next. All right, first up, the creative frontier. You know, every single week, it feels like there are 10, 12 new video models dropping. And frankly, it's all starting to feel a bit commoditized. But this week, hidden in all that noise, there were two developments that sent a very, very clear signal. The question isn't just, can you make a video anymore? The real question is, can you do it in real time? Can you make it last forever? And can you keep it perfectly coherent? That's the new game. So let's just get this out of the way. We saw updates from Pixverse, Runway, Kling, Hunyin, the whole lot. And are they getting better? Of course they are. You know, longer clips, better resolution, some now have sound. But here's the thing. This is just the baseline now. It's the expected incremental progress. It's impressive, sure, but it is not the strategic signal we're hunting for. Okay, this is the first real signal. In this very specific niche of character animation, a new model called Steady Dancer just showed up. And, well, it made the old champion, Wan Animate, look like a relic from another era. The jump in coherence, in sharpness, it's just staggering. And here's the key takeaway. In these specialized areas, the quality bar is being completely reset, almost overnight. What was good enough last week is simply not good enough anymore. But look, as cool as that is, it's still playing the old game, right? Short clips, rendered offline. This week, Alibaba, well, they showed us a completely different ballgame. And this, my friends, is where things get really interesting. 84 times. This one number, it tells you the whole story. Alibaba's new live avatar system, it's generating frames 84 times faster than the baseline models. Now, this is not a small step up. This is a complete pole vault over the competition. So what does all that speed actually buy you? It buys you this, a system that can generate video in real time with audio. And it can maintain the character's consistency, not for, 10 or 20 seconds, but for minutes at a time. This changes everything. We're not talking about just making little clips anymore. We are talking about live, interactive digital beings. And this brings us to the big strategic question for everyone in this space. Are short, offline rendered clips now obsolete? Are they a legacy product? It really seems like the new price of entry, the new minimum standard, if you want to be a serious player, is real-time, infinite length generation. Anything less is just not going to cut. Okay, so that's the creative frontier. But honestly, an even bigger battle is brewing in the open source world. This is about the big, foundational models that power all the serious enterprise AI. And this week, a new challenger just fired a warning shot. A big one, right at the established giants. Now, just take a look at these numbers. This is what's so fascinating. This challenger, DeepSeek, an open source model, isn't just keeping up with the big proprietary giants. No. It is beating them. Beating Google's Gemini, beating OpenAI's GPT on the toughest, most valuable tasks out there, math and coding. I have to be honest, this was not supposed to happen. Not this fast, anyway. And let's be clear, this isn't just some made-up benchmark score that nobody cares about. This quote really says it all. We are talking about gold medal level performance in competitions designed to test the absolute brightest human minds on the planet. For a general open source model to hit this level, that is a massive, massive deal. So what's the strategic move here? What's the real play? If you ask me, this is a full frontal assault on the enterprise market. DeepSeek is basically screaming from the rooftops that you do not need to pay a hefty premium to Google or OpenAI for top-tier reasoning.
They are making a very strong case that open source isn't just the cheaper option anymore. For the really tough, high-margin stuff, it might actually be the better one.
So the billion-dollar question is, how do the giants fight back? What do you do when your core business is being threatened by a cheaper and now better open alternative? Well, it's simple. You don't compete on their terms. You change the game entirely. You create a new ultra-exclusive tier that no one else can even dream of touching. And that is exactly what Google just did.
Now, to really get what Google's doing, you have to understand this particular benchmark, ARC-AGI-2. This isn't a quiz about facts the AI has memorized. No, this tests something much deeper. It tests if an AI can see a new pattern just once, learn it, and then apply that learning. It's a core test of what we might call actual reasoning or genuine intelligence. And most models, well, they are absolutely terrible at it.
And this chart just makes it painfully clear. You can see just how bad they are. Except for one. Google's new model, Gemini DeepThink, isn't just a little bit better here. It's playing a completely different sport. It has created this enormous performance gap on a test specifically designed to measure the one thing that matters most: advanced reasoning. So here's the bottom line. DeepThink is not just the next version of Gemini. It's a whole new product category, and they're positioning it as a separate, super premium offering. We're talking over $200 a month. Google is literally carving out a brand new, high-margin market just for elite reasoning. They're building a walled garden, trying to distance themselves from that messy, competitive, general-purpose market that DeepSeek is now dominating. Okay, so after a week of absolute chaos and noise, what are the real signals? What does all of this actually mean for the future of the AI market? Let's pull it all together and see what the new map of this world looks like. So it really boils down to three key things from this week. Signal number one, in creative AI, if you're not doing real-time and long-form, you're already behind. Signal two, open source is no longer just for hobbyists. It is a direct, serious threat to the most profitable parts of the enterprise market. And signal three, the big guys are responding. They're not competing head-on, they're building a new, exclusive reasoning layer right at the very top of the pyramid. And what's the result of all these moves? It's pretty clear, actually. The entire market is splitting in two. At the bottom, you have this huge, rapidly commoditizing layer. This is where open source and all the basic tools will fight it out on price and features. But above that, a smaller but much, much higher margin layer is being built, the strategic reasoning layer. And in that space, only a tiny handful of players can even afford to compete. So, this leaves us with one final, crucial thought. The game isn't just about who has the best model on any given Tuesday. It's about strategy now. Is the winning play to go after the massive commodity layer and dominate it with an open ecosystem, which is DeepSeek's bet? Or is it to own that exclusive, high-margin, high-reasoning layer, which is clearly Google's bet? That is the real battle we all need to be watching.